Good morning and welcome to Wednesday, April 22nd. This is Algebra. Today we're going to go over the worksheet I had posted for you yesterday where you had to do the evens on the Kuta software worksheet. I apologize already for number 8. It was badly written and not very easy. There was a solution, however, and we'll go over how to do them right now. As it turns out, all 4 of the problems we had to do, 2, 4, 6, and 8, were best done, well, these 2, 4, and 6, were best done with the eliminations method. So write them out in standard form and then solve with eliminations. We'll do that now. First question asked you something very similar as the practice video, which was we had 13 animals. That's what they were telling us. And the animals were chickens and pigs. And they told us that we had a total of 40 legs in the barn. So they wanted to know how many chickens there were and how many pigs there were. And all you have to do is form the 2 equations based on the information we were given. We can use C and P for chickens and pigs. So if I take all my chickens and all my pigs, I have 13 animals. That's the first equation written in standard form that basically just expresses how many things we have. Now, so far as the detail, we had 40 legs, and hopefully you understand that there are 2 legs on a chicken and there are 4 legs on a pig. So we got 2c plus 4p equals 40. If you can create those 2 equations, the rest of this should be very easy. I'm going to use the eliminations method, which means I need to find an opposite variable pair, which I don't yet have. But I can certainly create it right over here by multiplying this top equation by the number -2. Why -2? Because I'm trying to create the opposite of +2c. Now I distribute that -2, which was, again, the eliminations method. We have -2c minus 2p equals -26. So I've changed my equation using the multiple, which hopefully you understand and remember, it doesn't change the value of anything, it just changes its appearance. And now I'm going to add them vertically, which means I'm going to look at the 2c plus -2c, which will cancel, which was the point. It eliminates. But there's still some pigs here. We had 4p plus -2p, which is +2p. We have 40 plus -26, which is the number 14. And now it's pretty easy. Divide by 2. And I am looking here at 7 pigs. The question was how many chickens and how many pigs were there, so we have to finish the problem. Although at this point it's kind of easy. The original piece of info said that I had chickens and pigs totaling 13. But I know that if there are 7 pigs, and I subtract 7 from both sides, I find that I have 6 chickens. And that's the answer to the question. Using the labels, we have 7 pigs and 6 chickens. That was pretty straightforward, especially given that the example I gave you on yesterday's video pretty much answered the same question. All right, number 4. Number 4 has to do with kids going on a field trip. I'm going to read it, but I'm also going to put the equations together pretty much as we go. The info told me that I had 195 students going on a trip, and there are 7 vehicles. There's cars and buses. It also told us that there's 5 people that could fit in a car and 45 people that could fit in a bus. So they want to know how many buses and how many cars we have to take on this trip. Okay, well, I'm going to start off with my buses and cars. I know that buses plus cars adds up to 7 vehicles. I also know that there can be 45 people on a bus, and there could be 5 people in a car, and there were 195 people in all. And again, at this point, it's a pretty easy to solve systems with eliminations. I'm going to choose to multiply by -5. To cancel out the +5c. I don't want to use -45 because maybe the numbers are too big. So fine, I'll just stick with the easier number. I'm going to multiply this whole thing by -5. And then I distribute that -5. Negative 5b minus 5c equals negative 35. Now I'm going to add vertically. Positive 45 plus negative 5 is just 40b. The cars cancel out. Positive 5c plus negative 5c is no c. And 195 plus negative 35 is positive 160. Now I can just divide by 40 to find out that I'm going to need 4 buses. Okay, there's 4 buses on the trip. Great. I also know from the first equation that I had 7 vehicles. Clearly, if 4 of them are buses, 3 of them are cars, and I have my answer. 4 buses and 3 cars. Okay. The next question seems to really like field trips, so we do another field trip question. Super similar to the one that we just did. So number 6, just to set it up, we have vans and buses this time, and I know that I have 15 vehicles included on this trip. We're told also that vans hold 7 people and buses hold 25, and there's 231 people. So 7 people per van plus 25 people per bus equals 231 people. Once again, I'm going to multiply the entire top equation. I'll choose the smaller number, so negative 7, to cancel out the vans. And then I'm going to distribute negative 7. So minus 7v minus 7b equals, what's 7 times 15? Negative 105. And again, I'm going to add them up vertically. The vans cancel, as was the plan. The buses, 25 minus 7 is 18 buses. 231 plus negative 105 is 126. We divide by 18, and we find out that we need 7 buses. Okay. Obviously, again, if vans plus buses equals 15 vehicles, that means vans plus 7 has to equal 15 vehicles. That gives me 8 vans. And number 6 is also now finished. Which brings us to number 8, the most fun question of all. Well, if you can get the 2 equations written down for number 8, which shouldn't be that hard, you are doing well. Talked about forks and spoons being produced by some company and then being sold. So we have the cost to make them. We have the cost that they're sold at. We're asked how many forks and how many spoons remain. Or we're involved in this problem. So it's $1.70 to make a fork or a box of forks, I don't know. And it was $1.30 to make a box of spoons, and $37.90 was spent in the effort. Also, when we sell them, we sell forks for $5.60 per box, and we sell spoons for $5.40 per box, and we made a total of $147.20. This is not a very productive business. There's no single number that would make this an easy eliminations problem. That's true. So here's what I would do. Because there's no easy multiple to choose, I'm going to use the substitutions method. So I'm going to take the first equation. I'm just going to solve it for f. Just get forks by themselves. So I have, in this case, I'm going to drop the zeros too. 1.7f plus 1.3s equals 37.9. I'm going to subtract the s from both sides. I'm trying to get f by itself. So 1.7f equals 37.9 minus 1.3s. By the way, I hate using s as a variable. It looks like a 5. Be very careful. And I'm going to divide by 1.7. Okay, so F equals, and here I have to round, which again makes things less accurate. 22.29 minus 0.76 S. Again, we're forced to solve it this way, so we do. I'm going to plug that into the second equation. Again, I'm going to drop the zeros because there's no need for them anyway. 5.6, this is F, okay? So I'm going to plug this in instead of writing the letter F. 22.29 minus 0.76 S plus 5.4 S equals me erasing this and using my space more appropriately. 147.2. Okay, again, we started off by isolating F, then we plugged it into the other equation. Now we're going to distribute the 5.6. So I get 124.824 minus 4.256 S plus 5.4 S equals 147.2. Okay, so I have a constant over here, two S variable terms, and a constant on the other side of the equal sign. I'm going to combine my S terms. I have negative 4.256S plus 5.4S. That's 1.144S. And I'm going to subtract the 124.824 from both sides. 22.576. I know this is not the best problem, and I apologize already. I didn't write it. Our friends at Kuta Software wrote it, and they should be scolded for their poor choices. So when you divide this, you get 19.56. I can't make or sell a portion of a box of spoons. So I'm going to round this to the most appropriate level and just, fingers crossed, hope things work out. I'm going to call it 20 boxes of spoons, okay? Now, how can I be sure that this works? Well, I have to plug it into one of the equations and see how many forks that would be. And again, hope that using 20 boxes of spoons makes my boxes of forks, let's say, an even number to begin with. If it doesn't, we have problems. All right, I'm going to plug it into the first equation. It does not matter because hopefully it'll work on both, but I'm going to go with 20 spoons, okay? So if our spoons are 20, let's just, again, hope that we come up with an even number of fork boxes. 1.7 forks plus 1.3 times 20 has to equal $37.90. I was dropping the zero, so I'll still drop them. What do? Well, I multiply 1.3 times 20. What's 1.3 times 20? That's a great question. I have a calculator for that purpose, although that's not a hard question. So 1.3 times 20, we get 26. That's not a surprise. Right. And then we have 37.9 here. I'm going to subtract the 26 from both sides. I get 1.7F equals, 37.9 minus 26. I did the wrong thing. 11.9. If you divide by 1.7, again, let's hope for the best, and we get 7 boxes of forks. Well, that's great. That means we rounded appropriately because I didn't get another crazy decimal that can't exist. Okay, great. 20 and 7. If you want to make sure it works, you could plug 7 for F and 20 for S in the second equation, and let's see what you get. I get 5.6 times 7 plus 5.4 times 20. Let's just hope we get 147.2. Hey, look at that. We get 147.2. It worked. This question was awful. I'm not going to give you one like this on a test or a quiz because that's crazy. However, when you do get your test, which won't be too long from now because we're pretty much done with the unit, it's going to be fairly basic. It's going to be fairly easy. There will certainly be at least one word problem, but it's going to follow the model that we've been doing. the easier model, like the first three, not that number 8. That was crazy. There will be linear inequality systems. You'll get a practice quiz or test rather as well. It'll all be fine. You'll have time. You can ask questions. It's okay. If you have any questions right now, please send me an email and ask away. I'll be happy to answer anything you've got. So far as right now goes, let's see. No concrete homework, but if you wanted to try the extra credit IXL, I think I said it was U.3 and U.11. I'm only looking at 50% success to get extra credit. So it's easy to get extra credit, and it won't hurt you if you can't get to the 50%, although you should be able to. That's all I've got for today. Have a wonderful day.